Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Debate of the Week. It has been a while since I've done one of these. This Debate of the Week, and I hope I get a good amount of comments because I want people to really think about this. As you can see from the title isn't up there anymore, I keep forgetting. Title is down there, and the title is simple. The Debate of the Week, why TNA's Bound for Glory is a better concept than the WWE's Money in the Bank. I won't say better concept, I'll probably say which one is better. Now, I'm not saying that the WWE's concept of Money in the Bank is not good. It's about the implementation from both companies that's really the biggest question mark. But I feel that the concept for me personally, I like Money in the Bank, but I really do like Bound for Glory much better. Now I'm going to describe both these concepts to you, if you don't already know. WWE's concept of Money in the Bank, which was started by Chris Jericho. Simple. About 7 to 8 guys will fight in a ladder match to get a briefcase with a contract that'll last for about 1 year. Within that year, you have the right to cash in on it or actually give it to the ref at the ring, and this must be done in a ring. Usually the competitor is either exhausted or was supposed to have a match but didn't. But simply, you can give that to the ref and then you can have a match. And if you win that match, you automatically win the belt. You don't have to wait to a championship tournament. You don't have to wait for a pay-per-view. You can just get it. Now, this covers under the WWE title and the world title. Doesn't make a difference. Each brand has their own title. So each brand has their own Money in the Bank contract. Now I'm going to TNA's Bound for Glory. Now from what I see of Bound for Glory, you get usually 12 competitors. It's still very recent, this Bound for Glory series. It's only been around about 2 or 3 years now. But you got 12 competitors that go up against each other and gets a status of wins. You can either get submission, you can get regular win by a pinfall, you can get a count out. I don't remember if a DQ counts, I believe it does. Those are the types of things, and you got them by rating. And this goes on for the next 3 months until you get to the Bound for Glory pay-per-view. I believe this is a better concept, but it also counts on implementation of the concepts. Years ago, when Money in the Bank first came out, it was an incredibly good concept. You can build a star within a year basing it around that contract. This is how things should go. At least years ago, you could take like a Daniel Bryan before they did what they did with Daniel Bryan years ago. If Daniel Bryan was allowed to be structured properly, he would be built up within 6 months to maybe 8 months. And then he could cash in that Money in the Bank on the champion and then win. But they don't do that in WWE. This is why I talk about implementation. The WWE doesn't give time for people to build into that contract. Hell, they don't even do a build going into the match. I can say clearly for TNA's Bound for Glory series, they give you 3 straight months on and off of at least 1 to 2 matches on television and other subsequent matches in house shows or shows that are not live. Usually they don't tape them, they're not live, they're usually like a house show, I believe that's what they call it. But usually that's how they do it, and they show you little snippets of it because they can't do it all within 3 months. It's not enough time. You got only 1 episode a week. So that's how they do it. But WWE could build into their Money in the Bank match. They did it a couple of times over the last 5 years at least, 4 or 5 years, where they had a tournament for it. I think last year they did a tournament. This year there is no tournament. They just gave the announcements to everybody. I'm not going to give the names. I might actually put the names in the description box, but people already know them. I actually won't do that. I'm actually got heat exhaustion because this apartment has no proper working air conditioning. I have a working air conditioning now for the next 30 minutes and then it's gone, baby. Air conditioning dies and then I have to wait 45 minutes for it, but forget about that. I'll say this, that WWE used to do this properly, that even if they didn't do a tournament, when it came to the actual match itself and the subsequent dealings after the match, they would have built their stars properly. There would be 2 stars, one for SmackDown, one for Raw. But the way they've been building their stars, they make them so bad that the implementation of a very good concept goes out the window. Right now, the person that might win is Daniel Bryan. Maybe it might be a Randy Orton, which we hope won't happen, because putting it like this, if Mark Henry loses to John Cena at Money in the Bank, that means the person that is going to win this match for the next year, as long as Cena has the title, will eventually face him. If it's a Christian, if it's a Kane, RVD, are you seriously want to bring RVD to go up against John Cena? Yes, RVD's been gone for 4 years, but you seriously want to do that? Come on now. I don't think RVD doesn't smell that good. I'm sorry, he don't. I mean, RVD has some good skills still, even at a guy who's near my age or more. Because he's in his 40s, I'm in my 40s. He's older than me by maybe 44, 45. But the point is that this should be for someone younger. Then that means that would go to a Daniel Bryan. And that means a Mark Henry won't get anywhere. We just keep going like this, spinning our wheels. Because if it's always that you got to set someone up for Cena, then Cena's the problem. Cena may not be a bad talent. He isn't. He has his moments where he shines, and he has a huge amount of moments that he sucks. But the point is that if the WWE have to work so hard to build what few stars they have to go up against John Cena, instead of building a whole bunch of stars that John Cena's not the point, you could stick anyone in John Cena's position and they would make ratings, they would make money, they would make anything necessary to keep themselves going, then the concept, and especially John Cena, is flawed. So that's the reason why I believe that the Money in the Bank is not as good as Bound for Glory. And not saying that Bound for Glory has been good in the last 2 to 3 years. Look what happened to Crimson. Crimson had a winning streak. Crimson was doing well in the Bound for Glory series and they took him out. Then they matched him up with Matt Morgan. And you saw what happened with Matt Morgan. Even though Crimson didn't win, he could have gained something from the Bound for Glory series and he didn't. They dropped him. Look at Samoa Joe. They tore his ass down. They seemed to bring him up, and then they didn't do anything with him when they brought him up. There's a lot of instances where both companies dropped the ball with a lot of people. But I can say with the Bound for Glory series, it's a lot more entertaining right now. We didn't even get a tournament for the Money in the Bank. But for Bound for Glory, right now, who was it? I'm a little fried, so I'm very sorry. Unfortunately, my house is so hot. But let me put it to you like this. Seeing Austin Aries win the X Division Championship, and this is basing off my current video that just probably will get uploaded before this one. Austin Aries won. It was, who was facing? Magnus had won. And also, who else won? I am so fried, it's so hard to think. And Joe won. You see these guys jockeying for positions. The one thing I enjoy very much is that they show the stats for each person when they show them in a house show or if they show them live or taped. You get the feeling of this being like kind of like college basketball or football. You get to see the stats and you get to vote for who you want. Money in the Bank don't have that. And particularly, you don't even see the tournament for Money in the Bank to pick the people you need to do. So Bound for Glory is doing better than WWE's Money in the Bank. Next, you still have option C, which Austin Aries has, as I said earlier. This is very good because if something goes wrong and they pull Austin Aries out of the Bound for Glory series, then you can have young talent going there. You can have Crimson, who I just mentioned. You can have Matt Morgan put in there, as I mentioned. You can put anybody else in that position you think that might be good. The person that isn't in there could be a Sting, even though he can't win the match. And I know people say, who wants to have Sting in the Bound for Glory series? You don't want him to win. He will not get the championship. But he could put over younger talent. He could put over a Magnus. He could put over an Anderson. AJ. Hell, think about it. You could put other people in there. Hell, it would be a dream, but Hulk Hogan could be in there. I'm not saying he will be in there, but you get my point. You can put other people in there. You can pull out Austin Aries as an option C and insert someone else. Even though Money in the Bank does have that kind of option if you have a Money in the Bank contract. If you challenge somebody and they say, you're nothing, and I challenge you for your Money in the Bank contract, and you do that, they can win that contract. And they can go on, but the time limit will keep going from the time the contract was printed, which it could be 4 months, 6 months to near the end. That is similar to the option C. And I'm glad that TNA put that in there. Now you got 13 people who had that type of option. Or 14, counting on what happened in Destination X. Or One Night Only. Other than Hardcore Justice or Destination X, if they do like one of those one night only things. But you get my point. There's a great amount of flexibility in this BFG series. It gives you a lot more interest. It gives you a lot more people. They give you 3 months to build up to it so you can come up with your own type of card or who you want. And next to that, you got an option, see if someone who's in an X Division who cashes in their belt to go for it. So at Bound for Glory, you get an X Division match to see who gets the belt next, and then you can guess who goes to next year. So I believe that the Bound for Glory series is a better concept than Money in the Bank by the way it's structured and currently its implementation. It counts on implementation for both these concepts. There may be a point next year that the Bound for Glory series pales compared to the Money in the Bank. Money in the Bank may be good next year. Right now, it's not that good to me. I don't find a lot of interest in this. But I'm very interested because what happened if Jay Bradley wins the Bound for Glory? I know he won't. But what happened if he goes up against Bully Ray? Hell, what happened if they have Joe against Bully Ray? Or, as crazy sounds, 2 people, Joseph Park and Magnus. What if Magnus wins? Damn, he gets it. I'm happy about that. But that's how I feel about it. And this is my debate of the week. So I hope you enjoyed it. Sorry, I'm really tired. I hope you enjoyed this review and this debate of the week. Subscribe and comment to my channel. If you want to know how hot it is in here, it's 93 degrees in an apartment. That should be much cooler than that. This apartment stores heat during the day and releases it in here at night. It sucks. When the AC don't work, I have to just struggle. But you know what? I'm a tough boy. Zane can handle himself. And I wish to say, if anybody wants to know how I'm doing, certain things just got done in the last couple of days, and I'm doing better. I still have some threats going on, problems, but you know what? I'm not a quitter. I'm a tough guy now. I'm much better than I was, and my depression's almost gone. If anybody wanted to know if I still have mild depression, it's almost gone. I worked very hard, and I've gotten where I'm at today, and it's all thanks to doing this show and thinking positive. So I thank you for seeing this show, and I thank you for watching.